Well, we finally got a bunch of not just good, but great news about Beyond the Spider-Verse. Let's take a couple minutes to check out these first looks at Miles, Gwen, and the Prowler, as well as an official release date. We finally have some real forward momentum. Well, honestly guys, I was starting to get really worried about this movie, and now that we have a positive update, well, I think we can start getting excited. Now, if you remember correctly, the final movie in Sony's animated Spider-Verse trilogy, Beyond the Spider-Verse, was originally set to hit theaters last March, but then it was taken off the calendars and there was no new release date ever assigned to it. Now, in case you didn't know, we are entering CinemaCon, and there's going to be a deluge of really great and big news in the upcoming week. And Sony is kicking it all off with this project. Now, before we get to all these great pictures, we got a release date, and this film is actually going to drop on June the 4th, 2027, a little more than 2 years from today. Now, that is quite a delay, and quite honestly, a little disappointed in the wait. But if this movie lives up to the expectations of the previous two, well, sometimes having patience is a good thing. Now, at CinemaCon, they actually screened a trailer, but it's unclear right now if that's going to be released online for everybody or be a CinemaCon exclusive. Given how far out the release date is, I am not expecting them to release it, but we'll have to wait and see. But they did drop several stills, including a couple looks at Miles the Prowler and a cityscape that featured Gwen Stacy. So we're going to dig in for a second. Now, this first picture is pretty classic for the Spider-Verse, featuring Miles Morales on what appears to be a high-speed train. This is the animation style we've gotten pretty used to with the series, so it looks like they're going to continue with that in the upcoming project. Now, this picture of Miles and Gwen though, well, I find that one a little interesting. The cityscape there is definitely different, and I think they are indeed in a different part of the multiverse. This definitely looks like an alternate Earth to me. Those are ship sails, and that appears to be Big Ben way off in the distance. So it appears Miles and Gwen have found themselves someplace very, very new. Now, we also got another look at Miles, this one pretty consistent with previous animation styles, although I will say he looks a little fuzzy in this picture. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but it definitely makes the picture stand out. And then brings us to the Prowler. Now, this is a character I'm probably most excited for, and I think this new take on the costume is pretty cool. Now, the one shot you're seeing right now is the first, which features him a little bit more up close. But then in the second shot, he looks like he's going in for the kill, and you do get a broader look at the costume. Now, we met this character for about 8 seconds before the end of the last film, so I'm sure they're having a lot of fun with this, and it looks like the menace this version of the Prowler needs to be is going to deliver. Now, all of this is great news, and I'm really glad we're finally getting something on this film. I've been saying for a while, starting to get a bit worried. This movie kept hitting delay after delay. We were hearing of more behind-the-scenes problems, even suggestions that parts had not even been recorded yet, meaning there was major delays in front of us. Now, there still is a good bit of time though. This film is going to release in 2.5 years. That does indicate they are, well, fairly early in the project, but throughout the Spider-Verse franchise, they've gone out of their way to innovate new styles in animation, and that definitely takes time, and I have to wonder, given the budget for their project, if Sony is allowing them to dabble a bit longer because they've had such great returns in the past, well, you trust them more in the future to go out on a limb. How far along could really determine if they're going to give us a trailer or not, or if that was going to be a CinemaCon exclusive, meaning it wasn't quite ready for public consumption, but they were willing to bring it to the show. Now, in any case, this is great news for Spider-Man fans. We're obviously going to keep covering this one. There's a couple more tidbits coming out about this project, so we're going to get them to you in the next day or so. But until we know more, I really want to know what you guys think. What do you think of this first look at Beyond the Spider-Verse? How do you feel about that release date? Is it too far out for you? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Now, before you take off though, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. We do daily videos and we want to be your place for all the Marvel and DC news, but we're going to bring it to you truthfully and transparently so you're really in the know.